All right. Hey, how's it going today? We're going to talk about succeeding in direct sales, multi level marketing, home party business, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. Succeeding with networking. Okay, first of all, I'm going to get right to the point and tell you what I think is best, and then I'll kind of talk about some other things that I've observed and that myself and my wife have participated in. All right, my name is Jared. My wife is Christy. We have been doing Cincy since 2012. A couple years ago, I was able to quit my job and come home, and now we do it full time. It's our main source of income. So, anyways, that's my credentials. Blah blah blah. Networking. Okay, here's what I like best. It's not traditional. It may not be what you're thinking, but I think it's the best, and I call it fish where nobody else is fishing. So I'm going to talk about networking events and chamber of commerce and all that kind of things. But first, I want to talk about this. Okay, fish where nobody else is fishing. What I think is the best kind of networking is just going to where people are who aren't also selling things, because all the traditional networking, all those other people are selling things too, and they're way more concerned about what they're selling than listening to what you have to offer. But if you just become active in community activities, okay? Now, I want to get this straight. There's many different ways to succeed in many different personalities and many different opportunities, and what works for me and my wife may not be the best for you, but this is something to think about, okay? And then I also want to say, I'm not talking about going to places and just being pushy and pushy and pushy, but just getting to know more people. And then it just comes up what you happen to do. You know, it's just natural. Doesn't happen immediately, but I think if you're in this to succeed and make a real business out of it, it will take time. Either way, whether you do the traditional networking that I'll talk about in a minute, that takes a lot of time as well. But let me give some examples, okay? So we have small children, a 4-year-old and a 20-month-old. And obviously they weren't born that age. They've grown to be that age. And through every stage, there's different opportunities. Now, I don't really participate in these. My wife does. She goes to a walking group where they push the strollers and walk around the mall. She actually heads that up. Check out Hike It Baby. I don't know if that's the website or a Facebook group or what, but Google Hike It Baby. That's how she got started in it, and then she just said, well, I'm going to just lead it myself at a mall because we're in a hot climate, and she just said we can go in the mall and go any day of the year. Traditionally, I think Hike It Baby likes to go outside, but whatever, you can do that in your group, in your area, or you can start your own. But, you know, get to know those other moms, go to the library time. Now, like I said, she doesn't push it. I mean, some of these people she's known, has really good friends she's been doing the small walk with for like 3 years, and that woman has never bought Cincy. So my wife doesn't push it, but she just, people know what she does, and it comes up, and she does get many sales from just different things that she's involved in, that I'm involved in, whatever. So, okay, so that's, if you have children, there's just numerous activities. We haven't even got ours in school yet. So when they get to school, we'll just have more and more, you know, people that we will meet. We don't push it on them, but it just comes up, and what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, they come to our house. It smells great, whatever. So whatever you're selling, you can find similar opportunities. Okay, so if you have children, there's just numerous things. If you don't have children, just go what you're interested in. If you are into hiking or outdoors type stuff, or mountain biking, or knitting, crocheting, whatever, anything you're interested in, there's other people interested in it. So find them and meet them. Bunko, whatever, you know, get on Facebook and look for groups. You can just search in any topic and find groups about it. And you can also do this online. You know, they don't have to be local to you. You get to know people online, and then it just comes up naturally what you do, or you can kind of work it in there somehow. I personally prefer face-to-face, but that's me. That's my wife. There's a lot of people that do a lot of stuff where they meet people online and are able to then further their business. So meetup.com is another website where you can find groups where you might have some interest, and you go meet people. And then, who knows? I mean, there's probably tons of ways you can find other groups. I mean, every community, just, you know, YMCA's, schools, churches, there's all kinds of things where you can get to know people and start your own group if you want to. If you're interested in jogging or running or fitness or whatever, you know, you can start your own group that goes jogging, bicycling, go to the gym and get in a yoga class, get in a whatever, you know, spinning class. There's lots of things, whatever you're interested in. Meet more people. Now, it's not a one and done thing. You have to develop relationships. So make sure it's something you're interested in. You go back and you continue to get to know these people, and it will come up. You will find that you will grow your business by doing that. I could ramble on and on, but I think you get the idea. It's just, find people. Also, just it helps. My wife does wear a shirt often, almost every day, that says Scentsy on it somewhere. So that's just, they automatically know what she does. She doesn't mention it. They may or may not mention it, but it'll eventually come out, and we do. Just the more people we know, the more business we get. Okay, so that's my big thing, is fish where nobody else is fishing. But don't be pushy, just be there and be available and let people know what you do. Okay, now if you want to do the traditional networking, there are, just where we live in Tucson, there are just, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, there's a lot. Instead of trying to think of a good word, I'll just say there's a lot of opportunities. Now, we've tried some. Frankly, we don't do them much. We don't do them at all anymore, because the bottom line is you can't do it a little bit. You have to be regular at it. You have to develop relationships to really work. We don't do them. Now, I'm not going to slam them. I'm not going to say they don't work. I'm just going to say it's not our choice. And I will tell you a couple things to think about. Like I said before, everybody there is selling something. And I'm not talking about just direct sales. I'm talking about network groups where there's insurance people, there's plumbers, there's direct sales, plenty of them. I've seen about half. Oftentimes it's like half or more direct sales, and then half are local businesses, plumbers, electricians, whatever. I mean, anything you can think of, any kind of business that needs customers. I've seen them at these networking things. They're really fun. I mean, you meet a lot of really nice people. I've been, Chamber of Commerce. There's local networking things. There's national things that are kind of like franchises. And I've met a lot of nice people at all of them. I haven't found it's been that beneficial for our business. Oftentimes people want to trade business, which is fine if it's something I want, but there's really no net profit if we're just trading. And I'm not saying that to be petty. If frankly, we've done lots of things. This is a different topic, but we'll do a home and garden show or something. We'll see another vendor. If we want their thing, we buy it. I mean, we spent several $1,000s to get a pergola put on a different house now, but on our back porch. They didn't buy any Scentsy, but we wanted that. We liked it, and we got it. Sometimes we'll buy a little, I don't know, they got all kinds of things. So we've bought some, we don't buy some. But we have traded in the past. But every time we've traded, it's been their idea, and it's usually like, oh, we'll trade you, but I didn't really want that product, but it's kind of like I feel awkward now because we've been sitting next to you for 3 days at this booth, so sure, we'll trade. But we're not really interested in trading. If we want to buy your product, we will buy it. And that's what I find at a lot of networking groups. They do a lot of that, a lot of trading around. If you want to do it, fine. You will sell some more, but you will also buy some other things that you may or may not have wanted. I also find, I don't know, I don't want to bash them too much. I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, different personalities, things work better. So you may find it's great, you may love it. I will say you have to go back and, just like the other stuff that I mentioned before, you can't just go twice. You have to be regular. You have to, not necessarily every week, but you have to be known, and you have to be just part of their lives. It's about relationships. Now, and it also helps if you refer them business, okay? Whether you do business from them or you refer them business, I mean, that people like that, and they might be more likely to buy stuff from you or refer business to you. But again, it takes a long time to do that. And here's the thing. I've found that if you don't do that, there's other things you can be doing. You know what I mean? If you have 2 hours dedicated to that, 2 hours a week or whatever, if you took those 2 hours and did some other things, I just find that you can find a better return on your investment of time. And some of these things do cost money too, so that's another factor I didn't even mention. A lot of them cost money, in fact. But above all, here's what I'd say. Pay attention. And you can't just try the things once. If you want to try it, you really have to go and become a regular. But what I would highly encourage you to do is pay attention. Now, I don't make Excel spreadsheets. I don't pay, keep documents of where every piece of business came from, but we can tell. We can tell we were doing this and we never got any business from it, for 6 months or a year, or we got very little business from it, or we got a lot of business from it. And if we got very little or none, we're going to quit doing it. Now, back to what I mentioned earlier about the things that you're just interested in. You might just do those because you're interested in them, so you can't necessarily pay as, you got to weigh that factor as well. But just pay attention to what's working. I want to mention the 80-20 rule, and I'm going to make another video about that because I can go on and on about that. But in a nutshell, there's a lot of ways to look at it, but the way I find best is, now, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's not always 80% and 20%, but you'll get the idea. Could be 90-10, could be 95-5. But let's just say 80-20. You will find that you get 80% of your yield, your profit, your good stuff from 20% of your efforts. So that's why I say pay attention, because if you find that you're spending 50% of your time on something that's very almost fruitless, you might want to stop spending so much time on that and say, hey, you know what, this over here was working a lot and I'm getting a lot of business from this. Can I do more of this, or can I do somehow duplicate what I'm doing over here and do it somewhere else? So find out what's working best. Pay attention to what works and duplicate that. Okay, I tend to get rambling here, so I think that's what I'm about to do. So instead of rambling, I'm going to wrap it up. Let me ask you a favor. If you found any of this beneficial, do me a favor. Go to my wife's website, Buy and Sell Cents, and that's SCENTS. You can see it there. buyandsellcents.us. I'll put a link down below as well. Just go to the website. I'm not asking you to buy anything, but it'll help me. I manage the website, and my wife, it'll help both of us. The more traffic we get on the website, the more traffic we will get on the website. That's the way Google works. If they see people are visiting the website, now don't just go there and then leave immediately. Spend a minute. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you read it or just leave it open. And if you could click on 1 or 2 links on the website, that would be great, but leave it open for a minute or so. If you're not going to do that, don't even go there, because it actually hurts me if Google sees people go and immediately leave. But that's a whole other topic. I don't want to give you a lesson on SEO, search engine optimization. But anyways, if you wouldn't mind, go to the website, click a couple things, sit there for a minute or longer, whatever. If you want to buy something, that's wonderful, but I would just really appreciate it if you go there. That's it for the video. If you want to subscribe, I've got a few other videos. I'm just kind of getting started making these videos about direct sales. I will be adding more. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, etc., etc. And again, my name is Jared. My wife is Christy. Okay, thank you so much for watching. All right, best of luck.